It's the day after Thanksgiving. The feast was oh so good, but what are you going to do now? All those leftovers, does a family want to repeat over and over and over again? In this video, we are going to look at a couple of creative ways to use those leftovers. I'm Mark, welcome to the Average Me channel. In this video, we're going to look at some ways we can use your Thanksgiving leftovers. And we're going to look in this video at two handheld options. I think you're going to love it. We're going to start with something kind of simple, kind of basic, and that's going to be a melt. Now, I am going to say that it's not a bad idea to heat up the meat before we cut it, especially when you're making something like a melt, because you want to cut a relatively thin piece. And I'll tell you, something like turkey and chicken, it doesn't cut very well when it's cold. It tends to just flake apart. And also, sometimes making a melt, it doesn't heat all the way through as you are grilling the sandwich. So I am going to cut a slice of this, just like that, and that's what we're going to use. Now, admittedly, this is as basic can be, but you're going to like the second idea because it really is an unusual one, and I think a unique take on using those Thanksgiving leftovers. So, I'm using whole wheat bread. I just think it's a better option, but you can use, of course, whatever you'd like. And the other thing you might consider is how dry or juicy is the meat that you have. I'm using white meat. It tends to dry out a little bit. So if you'd like, you can use some of that gravy and oh so carefully add a little gravy as this is cooking. So we're going to take this bread over to the griddle, and I'm going to show you exactly how I make a melt. I like to use a griddle rather than a pan. You can certainly use a pan. A griddle just can do a lot more work at the same time, and I think that it does fry things more evenly. So usually I like to use a piece of cheddar cheese, but today we're going to use a processed cheese, American cheese single. Adds a lot of gooiness and a little bit of moisture to something that could be a dry piece of meat like this poultry. So I'm going to put that on there, and we're going to give that about a minute to get the other side nice and grilled. Let's see how that's looking. Not quite there yet. All right, now notice I am going to flip the cheese side. That way it flips over nice and neatly. Look at how beautiful that is. I got to get a plate out, and we will move this right onto a plate. Now, is that a perfect grilled sandwich? We're going to cut that and see how it tastes. Now, in the classic presentation, you would probably add a Thousand Island dressing, or like I said, you could put anything of your choosing as a condiment. You could add mayonnaise if you'd like. You can put a little of that gravy on, but just look at that cheese. Oh, I can't wait to bite into this. That looks so delicious. I always say the proof is in the pudding, or the sandwich. So simple, and yet so delicious. Wait until you see what I have in store for you next. Now that was delicious. I can't eat another bite, but I'm going to for you, because you're going to love what I'm going to make next. Once again, we're going to start with some of the turkey. And for what we're going to do here, I'm going to recommend that you start with everything already heated and warmed up, and you're going to see why in a minute. How much turkey you use is largely up to you and how robust you want the final product to be. So I think that that is going to be plenty good for one person. Now here's what we need next. A tortilla. And you might want to heat that up first. And this is going to be just fantastic. Next, we're going to take a little bit of the cranberry sauce. And you can see this is whole berry cranberry sauce. You can actually see, maybe you can't, but you can actually see these little berries in here. So we don't want to put too much. This adds a little bit of sweetness as well as that cranberry flavor. And what's next? Our stuffing. Oh boy, this is going to be so good. And finally, we're going to put on a little bit of that Thanksgiving gravy. So we have the whole feast right here. I'm going to fold that bottom, roll that up, and it's that easy. Isn't it amazing, the simplicity of this? But take a look at that. Everything is in there. You have the turkey, the stuffing, the cranberry sauce, a little bit of gravy. As I said, you can put in as much or little as you want. It didn't look like I put that much in, but if you feel this sandwich, this wrap, it is really substantial. But you know me, the proof is in the pudding, or the turkey. I am getting an entire Thanksgiving dinner. It's quick, it's fast, it's easy. If you have all the ingredients, heat them up ahead of time so the sandwich is warm. You could put it in the microwave if you'd like. Boy, I'm getting a little bit of crunch from the cranberries and the stuffing. It is just so delicious. So there you go. Don't fear the leftovers. There are so many unique ways that you can change it up. I have a few more coming. Keep your eye on the channel. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell icon. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks for joining me. I'm Mark. This is the Average Me Channel.